since the sunshine comes from the east, till the light of the dark is coming. We are all up in our eyes, we are all up in our heart, we are all up in our mind, under the same sky. Not only one in blood and land, not only one on skin's color and language. We have one spirit, we're one in struggle. Let's raise our dream together. We can, we are young together. Hey, hey, ah, ah, ah. Hey, ah, ah. It's time to get up. Hold it and feel somebody. Set to go, we step together. One spirit to go. Great. Hey, ah, ah, ah. Hey, ah, ah, ah. Hey, ah, ah, ah. Not only one in blood and land, not only one on skin's color and language. We have one spirit, we are one in struggle. Let's reach our dream together. We can, we are young together. Hey, hey, ah, ah, ah. Hey, ah, ah. It's time to get up. Hold it and feel somebody. Set to go, we step together. One spirit to go. Great. Hey, ah, ah, ah. 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 We are the winner generation. Lift as high as you can. Hold as much as you can. Burn as powerful as you can. Breathe the best into the world.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Joanna Mangaliman of SME Philippines, and I will be your host for today's webinar. Before we begin, if any of you have questions regarding the discussion, don't hesitate to send them to us by entering it in the comment section of whatever social media platform you're watching this on, and I'll be here to relay your questions to our guest speaker. Again, welcome to Environmental Preservation, a free webinar as part of the Youth Talk series of ESME.ph, an e-learning marketplace for Filipino professionals where one can develop relevant and in-demand skills through master classes in different fields of learning. To learn more about us, feel free to visit our page at www.esme.ph. For those who are watching on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn, feel free to share the link to this stream to people who you think will be interested in today's topic. This webinar is in partnership also with the ASEAN Youth Organization, an ASEAN-approved nonprofit organization that spreads awareness of ASEAN to over 200 million young people in Southeast Asia. This webinar is also brought to you by the Rotaract 1 ASEAN, Rotary Club of Alabang Madrigal Business Park, and the Rotaract Club of Alabang Madrigal Business Park. First of all, we're glad to have you spend your lovely Wednesday afternoon with us. We'll be surely coming out of this talk feeling empowered and having a lot of love for our Mother Earth. And speaking of Mother Earth, kumusta na nga ba siya ngayon? And truth be told, we shouldn't be complacent about our planet because climate change cannot be stopped by anything or anyone, not even COVID-19 pandemic. And locked inside our houses, all the more that we are unaware of what our beloved home is going through. And that's why we need a reset and a re-education. Thanks to ESME Philippines, we have somebody with a heart for educating and empowering young people and their green thumbs. And kanino nga bang future ang nakasalalay dito kung tutuusin? Hindi ba sa atin? Kaya naman, our speaker for this afternoon is a project development officer at the Philippine Department of Education. She spearheads the management of the learning resource and materials development system, one that aims to improve the quality of and access to basic education for the Filipino youth. Expanding her advocacy to public awareness, she is the founder of the Toledo City Basura Run in Cebu, composed of volunteers who promote the importance of responsible garbage disposal. Despite being an educator for 9 years, she is still a student of the environment, currently pursuing a doctor's philosophy degree in technology management at the Cebu Technological University. Clearly a champion of youth education and the environment. We are elated to be in her virtual classroom this afternoon. So, ladies and gentlemen, send your warm Facebook heart reacts for Miss Maribel Zamora.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Joanna. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, ASEAN youth in the Philippines. No, thank you so much, Sir Justin, also for the trust and confidence and for giving me time to talk about the environment. To all of you guys who are here, thank you so much for being with us this afternoon. That despite of the many challenges we are experiencing right now, what the world is experiencing right now, we are here for this very important topic. We can see it every day, we can feel it every day. But the question is, what are we doing? Are we doing something to at least help even a little? Environmental protection must be a practice, right? So I know it is already done by some individuals, organizations, governments, and even yourself. But what I wanted to emphasize is that we need to give more by doing less. No, it doesn't need to be laborious, it doesn't need to be great. If everybody will share a little, it will surely give a great impact. So environmental preservation starts with me. Do you agree with that? All right. So for today, these are the topics that I'm going to cover. First is zero waste, then ocean pollution, and what we can do. Okay, so we will start with the zero waste. So I'd like to inform. I am not promoting any product here. So these are just communication tools. So we can see it is a philosophy that encourages the redesign of making products to make them easily reusable, or it can be used many times, right? So this is it. Less to zero waste was a concept brought to small cities and towns in the Philippines. All right, so it is now just like in our city. It's we are practicing the plastic-free city. Yeah, on January 2021, there was city ordinance banning plastic in our supermarkets and as well as in fast food chains. So, as we all know, it is now a globally recognized movement. I know that a lot of you heard about it. A lot of people, a lot of youth knows about it. Okay, so these are the things we are already doing towards saving our planet. First is the use of eco bags. I know a lot of people are already doing this also. So we have the choice if we can use the eco bags instead of plastics or just go on with the old um, plastic bag using. The second is the using of reusable straws. So here in our city, it is already banned as well as the plastic cutleries. If we are going to take out food from the food chain, there will be no plastic cutleries that is being given. All right. So using the soap bars in organic dishwashers are also being advised. Okay, so we can see a lot of products being sold in the market which are already organic, including its packaging. Then you can also repurpose glass, cardboard, and paper as well. It depends upon us, especially those who are creative. They can think about creative stuffs in which they can use boxes and other packaging they bought from the market. Okay, so in the statistics from 2018 to 2020, so we can see the amount of plastic waste created. It's growing, but as we can see in item number 5, it goes down because I know that a lot of people are already aware and a lot of people are taking action in order to help save our planet. We have to remember that we only have one planet. We don't have planet B if planet A dies, right? So you have to think about it. Then for the producers also of plastics, I know they can innovate if they were able to do it, if they were able to produce plastics, they can as well produce things or bottles which are can be reused many times. Right? So according to Condor Ferries, just this year, the world dumps a massive 2.7 billion tons of waste every year. So if we will try to imagine 2 years after, 3 years after, so how many tons of waste is being dumped in the world? Okay, so this is very common. We can see this in social media. Sometimes we just look at it in maybe we think that what will be the things we're going to do. So we don't need to point it to other people. Just like what we have started when we started. So environmental preservation starts with me. It will always start with us. Okay, so how plastic waste impacts ocean. I believe a lot of people see this. Even those who are traveling, sometimes you can see tons of plastic waste dumped in the sea. So all this critically affect marine life forms. If you will try to imagine, we are eating fish, we're getting food from the sea, and yet, a lot are also feeding trash to the marine life forms. You have to think about it. Then according to study, 300,000 tons of waste float on ocean surface. So what will happen? We don't even see some na nasa ilalim na ng dagat. Alright, so what do we do now? Something has to change to protect nature. Pinaka simpleng gawin. Alright, so we can see a reusable eco bag. Just like when you go to the market, the supermarket, or anywhere you buy something, if you will carry with you just one eco bag, you'll be able to save plastic bags. You will be able to save 3 to 5 or more plastic bags because we have our own eco bag. Yes. Okay, so the 5 R's are here. First is refuse, then reduce, reuse, recycle, and rot. Okay, so 5 R's. You can see this here. I have here a quick intro on the 5 R's. No, a quick intro. How many of you around here, those who are listening, have this one? I am not promoting this product. I'm just showing you the bottle because it is just one bottle but it is very powerful. Okay. So number one of the 5 R's that I have mentioned, refuse. No, so if we have this eco bottle, we will be able to refuse the single-use bottle, the bottled water, right? So that's for refuse. It's an example, a concrete example. Then for single-use plastics also, bags, caps, and utensils, including freebies, party favors like hotel toiletries, and a lot more. We can refuse things which will turn into trash. It's beyond our. It depends upon our decision to take it or just to leave it, right? Okay. The second one is reduce. All the things shown here can help reduce trash. Purchase repairable items over disposable ones, then trying to avoid unnecessary purchases. Sometimes double. We buy double. Then if we already have this thing at home, then we try to um, purchase another one, a similar thing. So in purchasing, we have to rethink if this thing is really needed. Okay, so we also have the decreased exposure to tempting advertising messages. Sometimes you buy something because we were tempted of the advertisement. Oh, anyway, um, there's no harm in buying those things as long as we need it. Okay. Then for use, no, so we have to practice borrowing and, of course, sharing items, especially at home. No, so repair instead of replace. You can see it. Um, if the thing or something is still replaceable, something can be repaired, no, but not replaceable. No, so it's for us to decide whether we have to keep it or put it into the trash can. Then rethink the items you already have. So that's for it's what we talked about a while ago. Then recycling. It's another R in 5 R's. Okay, plastic. Sometimes we cannot avoid accepting or using plastic. No, but what can we do? Recycle. So we don't need to throw it away because we are thinking we'll be receiving another plastic later on. So for plastic, we can keep it and reuse it. Then paper. For paper, we can, if there is still a printable space at the back of like say we say scratch paper, then we can reuse it. We know that paper was made out of trees. At least we will be able to help minimize the production of paper. And then aluminum and tin. These things are can be reused, or some are collecting this one. So proper disposal is very important also. Then for the last R of the 5 R's, rot. Throw food waste in a worm bin and let worms turn your waste into high quality fertilizer. So here in our city also, we are practicing the compost. Yes, because it was also announced by the garbage collectors that only the plastic waste will be collected. So all biodegradable waste will be at the backyard. So we also have compost pit, just a small one, compost pit at home. It can be used as a fertilizer later on. Okay, so question, how can you start preserving nature? As what I have said, it doesn't need to be laborious. It doesn't need to be huge. Simple, simple things that can help preserve nature. Okay, so these are examples. Advocate eco-friendly alternatives. So how many of among your friends are using the reusable water bottles? How many of your friends are using the reusable lunch bags? How many of your friends are using the bamboo toothbrushes? So can we advocate eco-friendly alternatives to our friends? We can start it with our friends. And of course, inside the family. And then another example is join beach cleanups. So check with the local community activities. There are some organizations who are doing this. If you cannot find one, you can start simple. It doesn't need to be a very big crowd. Just like the Basura Run, when we started it here in our city, we were only five. And then the five duplicates. But we stopped when the pandemic hits our country because for safety purposes. And then later on, so we started from five to our co-teachers, friends of those teachers, and then Senro were able to notice us, and then they also join us. And then the policemen are also joining us, including those who are in the Bureau of Management in jail and penology. They're also joining us. And then this time, just 2 months ago, we started the beach cleanup to replace the basura run, which has been stopped due to the pandemic. Okay, so these are some examples of the activities that we had here in our city. So at the upper left corner of the screen, in yellow green, are it's us, the basura runners. Yes, we are doing the beach cleanup. Then at the lower part, also, it's still a beach cleanup. So together with us, we're the warden of Toledo City Jail here in our city also. In the picture at the right side of the screen, it's another area of the beach. This is just a beach on near an urban. urban beach. So everybody is helping. Sometimes we are many, sometimes we are few, depending upon the availability of the people, of the advocates. Okay, so these are some of the pictures also during the basura run that we had before. No, I would like to mention the nationwide founder, Tony Gallon. He is from Cebu also. Actually, I don't know him. We just met. Someone introduced me to him to collaborate with him because of we are on the same purpose or goal. So you can see here we have the yellow green t-shirts. Yeah. These are the basura runners. Then the policemen are also joining us, and then those who are in white is another organization. They are also joining us in the basura run. Okay, so this is where we posted our activities in Basura Run. Go Green Philippines. It is a Facebook page. We are promoting this one for our children and their children, and of course for you, the young ones. We have to remember that we only have one planet. We don't have planet B to go if planet A dies. So we have to be aware of our impact to the environment. I am inviting everyone to be an advocate. Okay, so it doesn't need to be a very big organization as long as everyone is doing his job to protect nature. No, I'm very lucky because no, I was found. Shall we say? Shall I say? I was found. I was able to meet Sir Justin because through him, I was able to. This is the first time that I talk um, online regarding the environment, about the environmental protection. The first it was a face to face. That was before the pandemic. I was invited as a keynote speaker during the culminating activity of the private school here in our city, Consolatrix College of Toledo City. It is an Augustinian Recollect school wherein they had culminating activity on CWTS. That's it. Yeah, I would like to thank you so much for listening. You can ask me questions about our advocacy. This is just very simple. We don't need to. We don't need a huge number of people. We don't need a lot of machineries in order to do that, in order to protect nature. But with the very simple act of kindness to Mother Earth.
That's true. And you can be an advocate kahit mag-isa ka lang naman eh. Tapos makikita ka nung iba, so susunod na sila. So, you have to start sa sarili mo. You have to set a good example para yung mga susunod na generations is magfa-follow dun sa sineset mo na example. And thank you so much, Miss Maribel, for such a heartfelt lecture. There surely is a lot of work to be done to mitigate climate change. And this can only be achieved if we have an innate drive within to respond to this timely call of action. And this very insightful talk has surely unpacked some questions from our audiences, and fortunately, we are all lucky to have the opportunity to ask them to our speaker. Um, let's start with our first question, Miss Maribel. Why did you
Okay.
particularly choose to work on educating the Filipino youth? And what does an educated youth means to you?
ju ang kabataan ay pag-asa ng bayan, right? So, I see a better picture, you know. So a better picture when I invited the youth in joining these movements because sila yung ano, they have the capacity, they are still very active, and of course to invite them in doing good things in order to become a model also. That's it.
And sa inyo na rin po nanggaling na natigil yung pag pagpupulot nyo ng basura due to pandemic. What meaningful acts can we contribute to mitigate climate change considering restrictions imposed by the COVID-19 pandemic?
By continuing to use because we are promoting the eco bottle, and then we are also promoting the eco bricks. No, for the eco bottle, kahit pandemic po, the eco bottle help save us use the single use bottle. And then for this eco bricking, we are promoting it in our city also. The eco bricking help um, lessen the plastic garbage in the landfills. Kasi kapag the plastic waste go to the landfills, later on it becomes uh, it becomes powder like. Kapag inanod ng hangin po 'yon, we will be inhaling those microplastics. The air will not be safe anymore. So we are promoting the eco bottle so at least we will be able to save plastics from going to the landfills. Ganun po.
Okay, so ayun, sa ating mga audiences, uh, let's practice using eco bottles para makatulong tayo sa ating kalikasan. And next question, we know how young climate activists like Greta Thunberg are criticized, even by people as powerful as presidents. What is your advice to young people afraid to speak up for fear of being called out or invalidated?
Yes, Greta, I really appreciate what Greta did. So for me, we don't need to combat those people. We don't need to be an enemy to them. We can be a friend. We can invite them, do this and do that. So it doesn't necessarily for us to be an enemy to them, but a friend who will be inviting them to take care of the environment.
Okay, despite the destructive impacts of climate change, why do you think there are people who refuse to accept that climate change is a reality? And how do we deal with people like them in a way that makes them an ally and not an enemy?
In my experience, I really have encountered people who are just like telling, why are you picking those plastics? There are those people who are paid for that. But later on, I realized that um, this person is already joining us. Okay, so I don't need to talk back. I don't need to reply the same. But anyway, the basura that we are doing here in our city is just for fun, for us to exercise, and then at the same time, we were able to help. We were able to help the city. But this time that the plastic was banned in our city, it really helps because wala na masyadong makikitang plastics po sa daan. So the banning of plastic really helps also. We're very thankful because our city mayor also is very supportive. She was very supportive also of our cause.
Thank you so much for that answer, Miss Maribel. And for our last question, as an educator and an environmentalist, what keeps you going?
Because when I look at my two kids, if ako mismo, I already I can feel I am experiencing climate change. How much more to the small kids that I have, not only for my small kids, but to all the children in the world. Ano na lang po, if ngayon super init, when they grow up, what discomforts will be experiencing? What will be the level of discomfort these kids will be experiencing? So we are doing this not for ourselves, but for our children, your children, and their children in the future.
That's right. And I agree po na sobrang ang init-init nga and kung tayong matanda nga, hindi natin ma-tolerate yung nararamdaman natin na discomfort. How much more our kids, di ba? And
Yes.
meron nga pong post na nabasa ko news sa Facebook that we only have until 2030 para i-save or para mabago natin yung nararamdaman natin na effect ng climate change. So, we're calling out to all the youth, especially our youth, na now is the time. Siguro we can spare a little time away from our gadgets and let's start saving Mother Earth. And before we end this webinar, Miss Maribel, would you like to promote anything to our audiences? Do you have upcoming talks or organizations which they can partake in?
So far, ito po yung pinakauna kong webinar and pinakauna kong webinar about environment. The first it was a face-to-face talk at a private school here in our city. So I would like to invite everyone, if you can speak about the environment, just like what I did, hindi naman siya masyadong ganun kakomplikado, no? So what I am promoting is just like this. I am promoting the eco bottle, the reusable bottle, and then I am also promoting the use of eco bag. Yun po.
Okay, thank you so much. So please take note and let us start within ourselves. So ang pagbabago talaga nagsisimula sa mga sarili natin. And for everyone who attended this webinar, here's some good news. You can reward yourself with a digital certificate for your attendance. Just head on to our website at www.sme.ph or click on the link that we posted in the comment section below. Make your own account and navigate to the title of the webinar that you joined today. And again, I would like to invite everyone who wants to learn more and increase their knowledge and skills. Just visit our website at www.esme.ph. We offer a wide range of masterclass courses, those of which you enroll on based on whatever feeds your interest or possibly build for your career. Again, thank you, Miss Maribel, for this reality check you've given us today. It is true that there is no tool more powerful than education because when you are educated, you are aware, and when you are aware, you know what to do. And Mother Earth needs us more than ever. And surely Miss Maribel will continue to be a champion of education and the environment. It is never too late for young people like us to be one too. And again, thank you everyone for joining us today with environmental preservation. with Miss Maribel Zamora. We hope that you learned a lot from us in this insightful talk. And thank you. This is Joanna Mangaliman of ESME Philippines. Have a good day ahead of you and have a great evening.